Hello, my students. This is job interview 4. It means that this is the last materials for job interview. Right now, we focus on the last two questions in the 10 common job interview questions in English. That is question number 9, job specific details, and question number 10, related to the closing questions and how to say thank you after the interview is done. Let's start with question number 9, job specific detail. This kind of questions may be specific about availability or your job location, and possibly questions about your salary expectation. It is important for you to prepare well before you do the interview. Here is the example questions if the interview asking about the salary. The first example is, what salary range were you looking for? Or you might also hear, what are your salary expectations? The best way to answer these questions is, please you research on the common salary for that position first before you answer. As we know that talking about money is uncomfortable, no matter what situation is. But especially in the job interview, you don't want to offer a number that is too low or that is too high, right? Because of that, you have to research first to know about the common salary for that position. Here is the example of asking for the salary. The example is, what salary range were you looking for? And you can see there are two options to answer about salary. The first, you can say the typical salary range for this position is blah 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 to blah 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 blah. So I would expect something within that. Or you may also say, I believe this company already has a standard payment for each employee, and I will follow the salary standard set by this company. And then the second examples asking about job specific details is, would you be willing to move a new city? Or you also might hear, would you be willing or able to travel often? Or what is your availability? In those three questions, it is focused on your willingness. The best way to answer about your willingness is, please you be honest, be clear about your availability, and be truthful about what you are willing to do. Finally, we are in the last questions in the 10 common English job interview. That is about the closing questions. Do you know what is the meaning of closing questions? If you are interviewed by interviewer, can you ask a question to he or she? What do you think? As you know, it is okay to ask a questions in the job interview. And if you wanna ask, what should you ask? And you have to know that you have to ask a question at the end of the job interview. And here is the example of closing questions from the interviewer. The first, the interviewer might say, do you have a questions for me? Or are there any question you would like to ask? Or is there anything you wish I had asked but I didn't? Here is the 5 smart questions to ask in English job interview. You can use these questions if you wanna ask to the interviewer. The question number 1 is, What did the previous employee do to succeed in this job? The question number 2 is, what qualities or skill do you think are necessary to be successful in this position? Number 3, what are the job growth opportunities with this position? Number 4, what do you enjoy most about working in this company? And the last questions, that is number 5, is, do you have any questions or concern about the qualification for this job? As you know, this one is equally important after the interview ends. That is how to say thank you. And this is for the example, you can say, thank you, I'm looking forward to this job. Right now, we are almost at the end of these materials. That is practice. This is your turn to practice. Please you practice to answer those 3 questions by looking at the examples given. Number 1, what are your salary expectations? Number 2, are there any questions you'd like to ask? And please do remember, please you try to ask a questions to the interviewer that will benefit you. And then number 3, how to say thank you. Okay everyone, that's all for the materials of 10 common job interview questions in English. And please you try to answer these questions and try to practice it at your home before we start our job interview simulation. Please you keep practicing at your home and bye bye. See you on the offline class.